Hey, somebody's here. Somebody clicked like.
What?
Hey, brother Mike. Hey, Luis. How are y'all doing today? Mr. Jim Patterson, how are you, brother? Wow, 5 people already. Denise Barrett. What's up? What's up? Mr. D. Baca. How are you down there in Temecula? Hey, Mr. Allen. Okay, so this is going to be kind of a short video. Wanted to jump on here real quick to do an unboxing. Basically, well, I say unboxing, it's enveloping. Here's the deal. We have this knife, the World War II Cattauragus Quartermaster, that is being raffled off this Saturday. We'll do a live stream this Saturday for this. But we did a collaboration. Was talking with Alan from Rusty Hubcap Forge, and he was saying that he wanted to help out. He wanted to help with the process of raising some funds for our trip. So he was asking for some ideas of what kind of a knife that he could make. He has not made knives, and so he was asking what he could make. And so I gave him some designs of some really sharp looking blades. Sharp looking. Ah, that's funny. See what I did there? Hey, Jeff. Hey, Mr. Josh Brown. Hey, Jonathan Mickle. Hey, Corey Shire. Hey, Randy. Man, y'all are blowing up my feed here. We got like 9 folks. That's awesome. Mr. Bloonicorn. So, Alan, like I said, what can I make? And so I sent him some pictures, gave him a design. He forged it out. And after forging it out, basically kind of hit me back up on video chat and asked some questions about the design, refined a few things. And then after doing that, he ended up sending it to Eduardo Soul over there at Sabrestriker is his channel. Sent it over to Eduardo. Yeah, thanks. Smash that like button, y'all. Appreciate that, Jim. So he ended up sending it to Eduardo, and Eduardo ground the bevels in and did final assembly on it and everything else and finished it, and I just got it. Basically, this is going to be, as soon as we waffle this one off on Saturday, this one's going to be a short waffle. I'm unboxing it now, and you'll have until Thursday, the 6th of June, to get in on the waffle for this one. If you want in, we will close the waffle the day before Becky and I leave for our trip. So we'll have just a couple of things. I have not even seen it yet. I've seen pictures of it, but I have not seen the actual thing all at once. So I'm going to let y'all in on it at the same time I am. I'm going to go ahead and get into this. I'm going to try not to cut myself in the process. Cut myself yesterday. I was working in the shop on polishing up a couple of blades and nicked myself pretty good. So let's see how this one works out. All right. So it is wrapped very well. Looks like he's wrapped it in blue shop towels and frog tape. It's like Christmas. I'm so excited to get into this and see how it actually turned out, because this is a design for a blade that I've been thinking about doing myself for a long time and just hadn't had the chance to do it yet because I've got so many projects. It's another one of them round to it designs. So, oh wow. Oh, it's beautiful. Razor sharp. All right, I'm gonna set the computer down here real quick so that I can get closer to the camera. Wow, this is awesome. Alan, between you and Ed, y'all outdid yourselves, brothers. This thing is gorgeous. So, yeah, the pictures that I got from Ed did not do this thing justice at all. This thing is comfortable in the hand. It's not heavy. I totally feel like Doug Marcaida. I just want to slash around with the thing and say, it will cut, it will kill. So, let's see, I'll grab my Champ Ironworks ruler here real quick. Got it, Champ. Let's see, overall, let's see, where are we at on overall length? We are at 10.5 inches overall length. Blade length is right at 6 inches. Alan, you're gonna have to okay, you just said it. It's 5160. You got teak handles. I was about to say you're gonna have to fill us in real fast on the details on what the materials are. But teak handles and 5160 scale or blade steel. Man, this is beautiful. Really, really nice. Isn't it a sharp looking design, Randy? Pointy cut. That's funny. And this is that hard to even tear through fibrous stuff, and it cuts right in here.
You might keep jumping in on this one.
Nice. It will cut.
Don't try to kill anything.
I'm not going to try to kill anything. I promise. So, guys, wanted to let you all in on this at the same time I got in on it, to be able to see this for the first time. This thing is beautiful. Yeah, this thing's gorgeous, and I am definitely going to be making one for myself after this one sells and after we get back from the trip and everything. Be careful with sharp pointings, please. Okay, Denise, I'll be careful. So I'm going to set that down.
You can fight with the movie.
So, like I said, guys, this show another close up. Yes, sir. In fact, I'll move you a little bit closer so I don't have to stretch quite so far out. Okay.
everything's perfect here. Cool. Pick one or the other. Don't try to move the whole thing at the same time because it looks wonky. You want to show that, and you're doing the tilty thing, so it's kind of shining in the. You're blinding everybody.
Is that better?
Yeah.
Okay. You did do a nice job, Brent.
Both of you guys did a nice job.
Yeah, both y'all did a beautiful job, Alan and Ed. You both did an excellent job. This thing is just gorgeous. Trying to move it. There we go. Beautiful blade.
Right there.
Perfect. Yeah, this thing is fantastic. Phenomenal work from both of you. Thank you, guys, for
Jim's right. They nailed it. Like,
yeah. This, guys, this.
Rusty says, now I'm ready for swords.
Well, with that forge and the power hammer and the press and all that stuff you got, brother, ain't no reason you can't.
Like
you can't. Yeah, you'll be knocking swords out faster than you're knocking out mallets, man. But no, this design, guys, is kind of a combination of two different bushcraft style knives that I'd seen the designs of, and I really liked them. And so it was something I had been wanting to do myself for a long time.
Woo!
So
Ellen says, Excalibur, here I come.
See, and you're gonna have to do some masonry work and get a stone.
PayPal link right now, guys.
Yeah, Becky's gonna drop the PayPal link right now. But yeah, you're gonna have to do some masonry work and hollow out a spot in a stone to drop the Excalibur into. So yeah, guys, this Saturday we'll do the live stream just like last week. We'll do it at
Might want to do it either earlier before Yamez, because Yamez was already online.
Oh yeah, Yamez had been online for an hour.
He missed it and he was upset.
Yeah. Okay, so how about instead of, since Yamez runs for 2 hours, I think.
Oh, I can't put the link in. It won't let me.
Okay, I'll do the link real fast.
Because I'm not a mod.
Well, if I knew how to do that, I would set you up as a mod. Okay, so.
Jakin, good to see you, Jakin.
That is the link for all y'all for the PayPal on this. You want in on both of the knives, Mike? That's awesome. Just in the notes when you send the money, let us know how many slots you want on each one of the knives. So, the details this Saturday.
Can you do that from the laptop, Denise? She said you can click on my name and make me a mod. I don't know if you do that or not. I know you can do it in the settings later on. So
type something so I don't have to search for your name. Hey, there's your name. There's you. So do I right click? Oh, I see the little
dots.
The dots. You are now a moderator for my channel. Okay.
I'm blue now. Yay.
You are blue now. Okay, so we fixed that. Okay, guys. So details. This Saturday, last time we did the drawing. We started at 4 Pacific, 7 Central, or 7 Eastern, but Yamez was already going. So no,
they're 3 hours ahead.
They're 3 hours ahead, 4 and 7.
Okay.
We are going to do it at 5 and 8 Eastern, because that way it'll give Yamez a chance to do his.
Question really quick. Is there going to be a sheet for that one? Which one are you talking about, Jim? The new one?
Yeah, are you talking about the new one, Jim? Yeah, no sheath, Jim. I don't. I'll be honest with you guys. I made a knife for my dad. Yes, 8 p.m. Eastern, Denise. I made a knife for my dad that I'm going to do a sheath for my dad, that I can take the one for my dad with me when we go on the trip, because we're going to be where my dad is, and I can afford to do a sheath for it. I can't afford to do a sheath for both this one and the one for my dad before we go. So no sheath for this one.
So you're saying 8 p.m. Eastern?
Yes, 8 p.m. Eastern. Yes, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, 6 p.m. Mountain, 5 p.m. Pacific. And I have no idea what time of year Arizona is in or not in daylight savings time. So I don't know whether Arizona is currently in Mountain Time or Pacific Time, because they're the wonky state that doesn't do daylight savings time. Well, that's what I was about to say. So this one, we are going to be waffling this one off in the live stream on Saturday evening during the live stream starting at 8 p.m. Eastern. This one comes with this sheath, which was a custom sheath made by my buddy Bart Rembling at krfcustoms.com. He and I made this together. He basically showed me how, because I'd never made one. And then he kind of finished it, because he's got all the fancy heavy duty sewing machine to be able to sew this. It's a very nice sheath. We put a nice custom welt in here for it, so that, and when we were wet forming the thing, we intentionally made sure that we formed it so that there's no lump right here, like a lot of them get when they're wet forming. So you got the lump where the guard is right here, but no lump on the outside edge right here. And this thing just locks right in. So it comes with this sheath. But then Randy Mills but wait, there's more. Randy Mills from Newt's Leathers and Metal Smithy said he wanted to help out, and he wanted to make a custom sheath for whoever wins this, that they get a sheath made to their specifications on this one as well. So you'll get a second sheath made for this one. So they stay in standard time. Okay, I have no idea what that means, Corey. So, so I don't know whether they're technically at the same time zone that California is right now, or if they're in.
Yes.
They are in the same time zone as us.
The same right now.
Okay. Okay. So we will be waffling this one off on Saturday. But then
Saturday, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific, and y'all fill in the blanks for the rest of them. And then we will waffle this one off on Thursday.
You're blinding me.
Sorry. We will waffle this one off on Thursday, June the 6th, in the afternoon. Let's say go ahead and do the same time frame, 5 and 8 on Thursday evening, so that we can get this one waffled off the day before Becky and I leave on our trip. So wanted to share that with you guys, and I wanted it to be live when I opened the thing up, because I wanted to let you guys see it for the first time the same time I did. And like I said, Alan, you and Ed outdid yourself on this, guys. This thing is absolutely beautiful. You blew my expectations out of the water on the way this was going to turn out. It's better than I thought. I know it's way better than I would have done had I decided to make the thing right now. Y'all did a beautiful job. The plunge lines are great. The bevels are amazing. It's just a beast to hold in your hand. This is awesome. So thank you both. I appreciate it. Thank you all for checking out the waffles and for purchasing your slots. The help that y'all have given us is just amazing. We are pretty much at goal right now. We're getting real close, and this whatever we bring in from this point forward is basically just kind of cushion to make sure that in case we have any problems along the way, we're set. So thank you so much, guys. Had a hummingbird fly up
so cool.
6 feet from me. That's awesome, Jeff.
Josh needs gummy money.
Yes,
yeah, his supplies are a little low.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw that video, Alan. I'll show you my gummy supply right now. So this and this is all I've got left of the gummies. I ate all the rest of them. I have been intentionally kind of holding off on eating them as much lately, knowing that I would be able to use these as travel munchies on the road to be able to snack on some gummies on the road. So, and I haven't gone away, or I haven't gotten.
Had to be a Papa Josh red shirt. Do them in and gummy bears.
I haven't been going without snacks. I've been rationing the gummies off, but I lucked out and got 3 gallons of Butterfinger ice cream from Dryers for $5 from a local store here. So I was basically just eating a whole bunch of ice cream over the last month, and was intentionally kind of forcing myself to stop eating ice cream every day so that I didn't make myself sick. You see a trip to Albany's.
You're like, yes, thank you.
If I have to twist your arm, Alan, I mean, I don't want to twist your arm, but if you're going, I wouldn't complain. So, y'all want to see what I've been up to in my shop the last couple of days?
Yes.
Okay, y'all want to see? I've got to.
See if I can help you. Can I help you?
Yes, you can. Mine, Dad's, and then Sal's are sitting there. Okay.
Shall we?
Yes, and if you want to hand me the block that's going to be handle scales as well, so I can show them that. Okay, so
That looks like a sword.
It does kind of look like a sword.
Okay, I'm going to move this closer so that you don't have to.
Okay, that's. Can you back it up just a little bit? Okay, perfect. So this is a knife that I've been making for the director of missions for our Association of Churches. He wanted a Bowie knife, and sadly, Sal, I love you, but he said that what his plan was for this is he bought a shadow box from Hobby Lobby that once I'm done with it, he's going to stick it in a shadow box and put it on display on the wall and not actually do anything with it except display it. So, I mean, that makes me a little sad because it's a tool and it should be used, but I have been.
He's not a bushcrafter.
He's not a bushcrafter or anything.
Anymore.
Yeah.
So, he's a collector of beautiful things.
Yeah, but
that's what he said.
Yeah. So he said he wanted a Bowie knife, and I forged
Alan
this.
says he's got to go.
All right. Love you, Alan. Thank you, brother.
Alan.
Have a good night. Have Katie give you a hug for us. So anyway, this is something that I made, forged this one out. And then for the first time ever, and I'm actually kind of proud of myself, I did this yesterday. I needed to do a guard for it. So I took a piece of flat stock, and I didn't have
in order to see that, put the knife down and then put your hand behind it like this. So you can actually see what's going on. You can't
Thank you for the camera tips. I appreciate it. I really do. I don't know what I'm doing. So anyway, I don't have a slitting tool that is reliable enough, detailed enough for me to be able to make a good slit with this. So what I ended up doing was I found a drill bit that was basically the same thickness as the tang on the knife, and I just marked it out, and I drilled a series of holes along the center, and then after drilling a series of holes along the center, I ended up just getting a file in there and filed the whole thing across until I finally got a good solid fit on the tang to slip right down in there, and it goes right up against the bolster shoulders.
JT says that's the same technique that Big Dog does.
Awesome.
Woo-hoo!
Well, I even a blind squirrel finds an acorn every now and then. So.
And Jim says that's exactly how he does it.
Awesome. So
woo-hoo!
I'm gonna do this, and then Alan sent me this. This is an African bloodwood that I'm gonna have it actually set so it doesn't shine.
Yeah, because you're glaring.
Okay. Anyway, I'll just go ahead and hold this closer then, because this, I want y'all to see the grain on this. This coloring and grain,
Mr. Greenbee, good to see you,
is just absolutely amazing.
That is so pretty.
And this, I'll be honest with you guys, this is the heaviest wood density-wise that I have ever felt. This chunk of wood is probably, I'm going to say probably about 4 or 5 pounds for this little tiny piece of wood. This is just a heavy piece of wood, very, very, very dense. So I'm going to be making the handle scales from this piece. That
he says keep the grain in line with the tang so it doesn't split on it. You have to cut it a different way now?
Yeah, but that's okay. I drew it with pencil. I can. Thank you for that tip, Jeff. I appreciate that. I appreciate that too, Rob.
You have to take it back. Hey, Mr. Bob, how you doing?
Bobby!
Good to see
you. Brother, I just want to let you know, I did watch the video yesterday. I didn't get a chance to watch it all the way to the end and type because I had a phone call come in right as I was finishing up with watching the video, so I didn't get a chance to comment on it yet, but I will go back in and watch the last couple seconds of it. But that was a cool project for him.
Who are you talking to?
Bob.
Said, hey.
Bob.
Okay.
Bobby. So yeah, that was project number 1.
Oh, sorry. Gotta have to get some coffee.
Becky walked away to go get coffee.
Okay, which one are we doing?
Go ahead and grab the one for Dad.
Tripod.
I appreciate that. So this one I made for my dad. It's Purple Heart handle scales that were supplied by Alan Beasley, that Curiosity in the Forge. It's got copper pins that are hollow pins. I am making a sheath for this to deliver to my dad for Father's Day and for a belated birthday present. But I'll be honest with you guys, I'm really, really proud of the way this turned out. It feels really good in the hand. I was able to lighten it up quite a bit. I really, it's sharp as could be. This is the one that when I was polishing yesterday, I sliced myself, nicked myself pretty good with yesterday by accident. Yeah, I really was happy with the way this came out for my dad. So I was working on this yesterday, and then my third one that I'm working on, I am ready to do handle scales, or to actually epoxy the handle scales in on it. It's my knife that my first one that I ever forged is this one
From the coffee can.
From the coffee can forge. And this was a hunk of lawnmower blade that I forged out in my coffee can forge. Show closer. Whoops, wrong direction. So this is what I've been working on in the shop, getting the handle scales ready to be epoxied on to finish. And as soon as I get the scales epoxied on to finish, I can do the final sand on the scales. And as soon as I'm done with that final sand on the scales, I'll go ahead and put some oil on it to finish it, and this will be done finally. So I'm basically, over the course of this week, my plan is to finish this, and finish this, to be able to give this to my friend before we hit the road on our trip.
That looks like a sword in this video screen.
I know the thing. It's a Bowie knife, so it's huge. I mean, comparative. I'll put these two together.
That's so funny. One looks like a steak knife in comparison.
Comparison, yes, it looks like a steak knife. But the plan is, like I said, I'm wanting to finish them all up so that I can, when we go on the trip, I can give this to my friend before we hit the road. I can have this finished to give to my dad in a sheath when we go on the trip. I'll have this one finished so that I can take it with me to show mom and dad and my cousins and stuff, to show them the different things that how I've progressed in what I've been doing, and show them some finished products. And then, like I said, we've got this one, World War II Cattauragus, model 225Q.
Oh, JT says, don't forget the coin and blade tradition.
Oh yeah, definitely. Whoever gets these knives has to give me a coin for it, so that it's a good luck thing. So they paid something for it and everything. So, but yeah, this Cattauragus Quartermaster model 225Q, World War II, stacked leather handle. Overall length of the blade is 6 inches, and then go with good old Champ Ironworks again. Let's see, overall length 10.5 inches. 6-inch blade, stacked leather handle. You've got the flat checker pattern of the pommel so that you can use it for hammering with. And then comes with this custom leather sheath from KRF Customs. Bart Rimling made it with me, taught me how to make it, and then he finished up the work. And then Randy Mills from Newt's Leather and Metal Smithy is going to make a custom to the winner's specifications second sheath for whoever wins that one. And we will waffle that one off 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern this Saturday, June the 1st. Bye, Mr. Patterson. Have a good night. Say hi to Tracy for us and have her give you a hug and all that. And then next Thursday, June the 6th, we will waffle this one off, do the drawing for this one. Same time frame, 5 and 8. And this one was made by my design, forged by Alan Schoenert at Rusty Hubcap Forge, and then ground in by Eduardo Sol Sabrestriker, and 5160 blade and teak handles on this. And man, guys, I just can't say it enough how much I love this. This thing came out beautifully. So
said every time you say overall, your logo pops in there.
Nice. Well, you can't go wrong thinking about overalls. I've shared this story a bunch of times, and I don't know at this point whether I've told it on the channel or not, but I have loved overalls for as long as I can remember. I've loved them. My grandfather wore overalls. My dad wore overalls, and they wore Liberty overalls. And I have Liberty overalls and love them. I would, if Becky would let me, wear overalls 7 days a week. Everywhere we went, I'd wear overalls. But she's not the biggest fan of them. So, but I have said that if I can get really nice material that you make suits out of and get a pattern for overalls, that I would make or have made a pair of overalls that were dress overalls that I could wear from the pulpit, so I could preach in them, or I could do a wedding or a funeral, or just go out on the town in my fancy overalls. So yeah, that's
and I'm sure you can see by the look on his face, I am making faces over here if anybody's wondering.
So yeah, that's thinking about overalls is never a bad thing in my book.
JT says both his grandfathers wore them. One always kept his Prince Albert tobacco and papers in the front chest pocket.
See, my grandfather.
And Freebie says that his dad wore BBU.
I know, I see. My grandfather, I called him Pop. He chewed Copenhagen snuff, and he used to dip his Copenhagen, and he had always carried his can of Copenhagen in his back pocket in his overalls, and that's it left a ring. And if he was out in the shop, he always had a spit cup nearby. If he was in his truck, he had a spit cup in the truck. He had a spit cup in the house, and he'd always sit there with his Copenhagen. So,
oh my goodness.
Well, I appreciate that, Mike. I really do. I would not pass that up if you've got a pattern for it. That at least I've got the pattern available with a bow tie. I think you like won me right there. You had me at bow tie and overalls in the the same sentence. I actually own a bow tie that I picked up a long time ago with the full intent of one day learning how to tie it, because it was a real bow tie. I've had the adjustable ones that just had a clasp. I've had those, and I'd never actually worn one that was a real one that you had to tie. And I got it, and for years and years and years, it just hung with all my other ties on the rack. And I finally, just not too long ago, decided I was going to try to learn how to tie the thing. And I watched several YouTube videos, and I practiced in my hands at being able to tie it. And then I went to tie it around my neck, only to find out that my big old fat neck was too fat for the bow tie that I actually had. It wasn't long enough, and so I could not tie it around my neck, and I was extremely disappointed because I wanted to wear this bow tie, and I couldn't. So eventually I will have a bow tie that I can tie and wear, and we'll have some dress overalls to have my bow tie clip-ons rule. Exactly, YouTube to the rescue. That was exactly what I did, Jeff. I was like, you know what? I know you can find anything on YouTube, so I'm gonna watch YouTube videos and find a YouTube video on how to tie a bow tie. Yeah, I can tie a bowline too. I can even tie a double bowline. Because when I was with the fire department, we had to learn how to tie double bowlines for being able to haul somebody out as a safety line if we needed to. Bolo tie. Yeah, no, never really was a fan of the bolo, Jeff. I just use a single Windsor, Randy, but the only reason for that is strictly because I have a weird body. I have a big old fat neck and a really long torso. I am barely under 6'4". I was 6'4" before a car accident when I broke 6 vertebrae in my upper back, and since then I have shrunk. But even being 6'3", 6'4", my inseam is only a 32. I have this really long torso, and because of my big fat neck and my plump belly and the long torso, if I tie more than a single Windsor on my neck, the tie's too short. GQ. I know I'm not GQ. Make your own. You can jazz it up. I know a guy that hand makes aglets, the pointy things on the strings. Oh, okay. What is the tie for? What do you mean, Denise? And yes, Randy, I agree. It does look uneven. It does not look anywhere near as pretty as a double Windsor. But when you're using that much more fabric in length to be able to wrap it to get the double, it looks funny. It's just the tie's just not long enough. For wiping gravy off your chin. Denise, the whole point of it was that I was talking about my dress overalls that I'm eventually going to have to be able to wear overalls even to preach in or to do a wedding or a funeral or whatever. Um, but Mike Gunnels was saying that he would send me a pattern to have dress overalls and to wear my dress overalls and a bow tie. And I said, I love bow ties. I have had a bow tie that I purchased because I didn't want to do the clip on or snap and then adjust bow tie thing. Uh, but I purchased it and never learned how to tie one until recently. I finally watched a bunch of YouTube videos to learn how to tie it because I was ready to wear it. I was going to wear it at church every now and then. Every now and then I do wear ties at church, and um, I went to wear it and tied it, and it wouldn't fit around my big old fat neck. I just couldn't tie it right. So, Eduardo, yes, I opened the knife. It was gorgeous, man. I love it. I absolutely love it. This thing is beautiful. You and Alan outdid yourselves. This thing is amazing. Ed, you did great, man. Thank you. And thank you for showing up too. I appreciate it, man. Yeah, Debaka, if I wasn't so hot natured, I might could get away with wearing a vest too. But I am so stinking warm natured that I'll sweat on a cold day. And the majority of the congregation at the church is older, and they have a hard time when it comes to cold. They don't like it too cool in the sanctuary. So we end up half the time having the heater on or not turning the air conditioners on, even though I'm a little on the warm side. If I was wearing a vest too, I'd be boiling. I'd melt before the end of service was over with. I think you're right, Mike. I think that's getting a little too a little too hardcore there, Jeff. Um, plus, you run cooling and everything in there with the tubing, and then it'd be just my luck. I'd be right in the middle of a service, and one of those tubes would spring a leak, and all of a sudden, I'd just be boiling up water all over the place. Cackling, holy water. That's funny, Jeff. I don't think I've ever heard somebody say they were planning on cackling someone, Eduardo. Be done discreetly. See, Chris, I might look into it some other time, but in 100% honesty, with as accident prone as I can be sometimes, I know my luck would be that I would have the thing done and I would be in the middle of a service and all of a sudden it would start leaking all over the place. Calling. Gotcha. Thank you, Jeff. What up, Crawford? So Crawford, you're just getting here. The reason for the should preach from a baptismal.
That's the only thing that would make you look short.
Yeah, that's the only thing that would make me look short, because the platform that the stage area of the sanctuary is on, the baptismal actually drops lower than the floor of the baptismal, and or of the floor of the sanctuary and everything. So it actually drops down lower. So if I was standing in the baptismal, I would probably be a good 6 inches shorter than I am.
I would say you could probably see your head sticking out, but that's about it.
So anyway, Crawford, since you're just getting here, the reason for the video today was I was talking about the fact that we are going to be doing the drawing for this on Saturday. This coming Saturday, we will, instead of doing it at 4 and 7, 4 Pacific, 7 Eastern, we were going to do it at 5 Pacific, 8 Eastern, because Yamez was still live during the time that we were live last time, and was a little upset that he wasn't able to be there. So we are waffling this one off this coming Saturday, June the 1st.
Plus, we can all be there to visit with him and then run over.
Yeah, plus everybody can go and visit with Yamez on his channel, and then come hang out with Becky and I. This comes with this custom sheath from krfcustoms.com, but also Randy Mills has agreed to make a second sheath for the winner of this one, to the winner specifications. But then also,
said that the baptismal should be set at knuckle height, like your temple face.
It probably should, Jeff. But also, Daniel, the other reason for this video was that I did an unboxing. Alan Schooner, Rusty Hubcap Forge, and Eduardo Sol Sabrestriker and I worked together. I designed the thing, and then Alan forged it, and then Eduardo did the grinding and final assembly, fit and finish on it, to make and send me this so that we can waffle this one off as well for the last waffle before we go on the trip. This is Cell Bottle of Holy Waters. That's funny.
That's awesome.
So we are going to do a short waffle on this one, that we will draw this. The name of the winner on this one will be drawn on Thursday, June 6th, the day before Becky and I leave on the trip, so that we can be able to do the drawing. And then the 7th, that morning, I can go ahead and get this in the mail and send this off to whoever wins this one on the 7th before Becky and I leave. So you don't have to, whoever wins it doesn't have to wait for Becky and I to get back from the trip to get this sent off. So, and yeah, Crawford, this thing is awesome. I love this thing. This thing turned out even better than it was in my imagination. This was actually a couple of different designs from a couple of different things that I had seen. I really loved this blade from one and this handle from another. So I sent some pictures, and I wanted this a little fatter bellied than was in the picture that I had seen. So I really love the way this thing turned out. It's 5160 antique scales for it. And Eduardo and Alan did a just fantastic job. And same deal on that, $10 for a slot. No limit on the amount of slots you can get. Send it to the PayPal. Becky will drop a link again for the PayPal if you want in on it, Mr. Crawford. And I will make sure after this thing goes live, after we've closed it out. Yes. I will make sure I put the PayPal link in the description of this video after it's all done too. Okay. So yeah, that's what we've been up to, and then I just kind of showed some of the other stuff that I've been working on in the shop, getting some other stuff done and ready to get done. Daniel, I was showing, I did this as one to give to my dad because we're going to be staying right around where my dad and my mom live while we're on this trip. So I'm going to take this as a Father's Day present and as a Father's Day present and as a belated birthday present for the two of them to, or for my dad for that. And then this is my first blade that I ever forged. It's a lawnmower blade done in my coffee can forge. And it's just about done. And then I've been working on a Bowie knife project for a buddy here that is with the pastors group here. Yes, it is, Jeff. I understand, man. I just appreciate the thought. So, and this is a Bowie knife that I made for my friend. That first time I made a Bowie, and he wanted one that he wanted to. He's going to put it on a in a shadow box on the wall and just have it as display. But first time I've ever done a guard on a knife, and I went ahead and did that yesterday. And this African bloodwood is going to be the handle scales for this. So, bye, Dibaka. Thank you, brother, for stopping in. We appreciate it. It did finally show up. There's the actual hyperlink for the PayPal. So if anybody's interested in that, we appreciate it. So, yeah. So that's.
See you later, Denise. Give Aiden hugs for us.
Yep. Bye, Denise. Say hi to Aiden for us, and y'all as a family just give each other hugs for us because we love y'all. So, yeah, that's what we've been doing.
Do a mustard stain on the blade of the Bowie so it looks like Damascus, Josh.
You know what, Jeff? Do me a favor. Hit me up. Either hit me up on Messenger. Either hit me up on Messenger with details on how to do that, or give me a call or shoot me a text on how to do that, because I'll be honest with you, I've never even heard about that. So
I'm sure he would just
that would be really cool. So yeah, hit me up. I appreciate that. That's awesome. I love learning about new stuff I'd never heard of before.
Knows we have plenty of mustard.
Yeah, we got lots of mustard here. So, in fact, funny story. We had a kid from the youth group that came over to help us with some yard work a while back. And while he was here, we were feeding him, and we were making sandwiches. And he says, I said, "Hey, you want some mustard?" And he said, "Yeah, sure." And I pulled out a couple of different kinds of mustard, and he said, "How many kinds of mustard do you need?" And I said, "Well, we've got a lot more than that, because I just pulled a couple of different kinds out." And he said, "What do you mean?" And I pulled out a little jar of sweet hot mustard, and a jar of ghost pepper mustard, and a jar of Dijon mustard, and a jar of Grey Poupon, and a jar of jalapeno mustard, and a jar of regular yellow mustard. YouTube it. Well, you're not going to share with me, man? I see how you are. You just don't want to talk to me?
He said good German brown mustard works well.
Well, we've got some of that too.
Yeah.
We've got some of that too. So, yeah, we have a lot of mustard here because we like a lot of mustard. Bye, Eduardo. Thank you so much for showing up and for the help on the collaboration on this blade.
Gorgeous.
You outdid yourself. It's gorgeous. It's like a big stick of butter.
Mm.
No? No? Okay. Y'all have a good night. And on that note, I don't even know what time it is. It's almost 4 o'clock here.
Almost 4 o'clock.
Yep, almost 4 o'clock here. So I've been online live for an hour now, according to this. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off here too. And I will get details posted about this new one.
Good night, Randy.
On the on Facebook and
I'm
share the
excited to
details
see
and
that
everything.
baseball finish.
And that way we can let y'all in on the whole thing. So thank you all so much for your support. Thank you for watching the videos. Thank you for joining us in the live streams. Thank you for buying your tickets
God bless you too,
and all
Mike.
that. God bless
Good
you,
night,
Mike.
Brian.
God bless you all. Thank you so much for helping in all the ways that you do. You've been such a wonderful family and wonderful support for Becky and I, and we just love y'all so much, and we feel the love from you guys as well. Thank you. God bless you. We'll talk to you soon. Bye.
Bye, Lupe.